What comes to your mind when I say missionary? Is it perhaps your own missionary service or an elder or sister you currently know serving in the field? What comes to your mind when I say member missionary work? Does it bring back a sweet memory of an opportunity to share the gospel with a friend or family member? Or if you're a little like me, perhaps you feel a little guilty, hoping that you can do more to help in the member missionary work. Well, M. Russell Ballard put it this way in his talk: put your trust in the Lord, he said. We know from our research that most active members of the church want the blessings of the gospel to be part of the lives of others whom they love, even those whom they have never met. But we also know that many members hesitate to do missionary work and share the gospel. So why is that? Why do we hesitate to do missionary work? And why are we shy? And why does it seem so difficult? Well, today I'll share with you some real-world examples of why missionary work is hard and what we can do to overcome them. I will focus on what member missionary work is and the two main reasons why people typically don't share the gospel. I know when I was a missionary and I would ask members to help in the work, the two main reasons why they said they couldn't, one would be time. They didn't have enough time or any time. And two would be they didn't know anyone who wasn't already a member. And to me, the overlying theme of both those concerns, majority of the time, was fear, and a legitimate fear. So I want to focus on how we can overcome those. And as a convert to the church, I know how important member missionary work was. If it was just the elders and the sisters serving, I would not be a member of the church today. It's because of a member that I knew named Brittany, who was my friend and cared for me enough to want to share the gospel. It was all because I asked a simple question about seminary and why she left every single day from school to go there. And she told me about the seminary program and the benefits of it. I thought that was really cool, and she could have left it at just that because she did a good job explaining it. But she went a step further, and she asked, wouldn't you like to know more? I said, that'd be great. And so she brought some of the church material to me to read, and as I read it, it allowed for the light of Christ to testify the truthfulness to me, and it allowed me to be converted unto the gospel. So member missionary work. A lot of people think of referrals, and that is great. Referrals help missionary work so much, but it's not just that. There's so many different ways that we can help out with this great work. We could be a host home for who the missionaries are teaching, go to appointments with the missionaries, and we can even fellowship people as they come to church by sitting with them. These small acts will help people not only before their baptism, but just as important after their baptism, so they can be active for the entire year so they can receive their temple endowment and receive eternal blessings. I had the pleasure of also serving in the elders quorum, where the missionaries were teaching a man named Doug, who they found through tracting, and they had been teaching him for a few months now, and he had yet to be baptized. So I asked the missionaries if I can go to the next appointment, and they said yes. And when we were at that appointment, Doug and his son committed for baptism, and they asked me to baptize them. And the presence of having me as a member, not just the missionaries, I know made a difference. And it testified to me the importance of us being involved in the work. So the concern that people don't have time for missionary work. It's a common one, and we think we're too busy. Well, Elder Dieter F. Uchtdorf, in his talk of regrets and resolutions, said, isn't it true that we often get so busy and so sad to say we often wear our busyness as a badge of honor, as though being busy by in itself was an accomplishment or a sign of superior life? I want you to think about your daily routine, possibly your week. Do you think you could find 45 minutes in that week to dedicate to missionary work? That's plenty of time to go with the missionaries to an appointment, have your home be a host home for a missionary lesson, to make a phone call, to post on someone's wall, or to even role play a family home evening on missionary scenarios of what to say when they come. Every member was able to dedicate that time. It would overwhelm the missionaries in a good way, and they would have so much to do and be so busy. So the concern that I don't know anyone that's not already a member, which is a good one. I mean, a lot of us don't know people outside of our own inner circle. A lot of times they are members. Well, Preach My Gospel in the handbook, it says that there's ways to encourage members to find people for the missionaries to teach. And one of the great ways they share is through social media. There's plenty of people on our social media accounts that aren't members of the church or that are less active. And as we share inspirational messages with them, it can inspire them to want to know more. So just about anyone who's ever tried to share the gospel, the concern of fear is overwhelming, and the fear of rejection is real. Nora Roberts says, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. We keep this in mind, and especially the value the gospel brings to people's lives. Even the most successful people or the happiest people will be blessed if we can have them give the opportunity to accept the gospel. And any effort that you give in the gospel, you'll be blessed, even if it's just planting a seed. Elder David A. Bednar explained it this way. Those who faithfully, diligently, and consistently do simple things that are right before God will bring forth extraordinary results. I know this to be true because every blessing I have is because of a member of the church who was willing to share it with me. Like I mentioned, I'm a convert to the church, and after I joined the church because of my good friend, my mom was baptized, and also were my 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And we were sealed in the Mesa, Arizona temple for time and all eternity. Because of my blessing of the church, I had opportunity to meet my best friend and eternal companion, Dania. And we've been blessed with 5 children. Amelia, who is 6, Charlie, who is 4, and a new baby that is on the way. We've also been blessed with 2 angel boys. They're no longer with us on the earth. But even though we're separated now, because of the gospel, we will not be separated for all eternity. And everything I have in my life, every single blessing that I have, is because I'm a member of the church. And it was someone willing to share with them. They're sharing with me the gospel. I encourage everyone to become more involved in member missionary work. You could be simply willing to help the missionaries teach who they have found, or even possibly brave enough to share the gospel with those online or in person. And I promise you that by doing these things, you will see miracles and you will change people's lives, not just in this life, but in the life to come.